Hi and welcome to this demo of doing firmware updates with the cloud, Drogue Cloud and Drogue IoT. If you've been following the blog posts, we've been doing an article series on firmware updates, and we've seen how the bootloader works, how writing the firmware to the device works, and in the last article we saw how the update service works, and this demo ties it all together. So let's have a go. We'll start with looking at the device, and the device is using the Embassy bootloader. It's using the Drogue HTTP endpoint to connect to the Drogue cloud, and then it's using the embedded update library to perform the update process. And the library basically allows you to spawn off a async task that runs the update process, and then it will notify you if you need to reset your device to swap the firmware. So that's the device, and we also have the specification of the firmware in the device itself. So we'll log into the Drogue sandbox in order to view that. We can look at our workshop device and the configuration for it. So we have a firmware section now, and we'll also define an image, which is the container image containing the firmware. And then we have a build section, which describes how to build the firmware itself. So you can read more details about this in the blog post. We also have the Drogue Ajour console, where we can look at our builds. We can trigger builds like this, and we can also look at our existing devices. We already have this device running the firmware update process. I started it a bit early because it takes a while, and then it runs fetching the firmware gradually from the container registry, and then eventually we'll see it updating, and then when it's updated it will be instructed to blink the LED, and it will also report back that it has updated, so it will be marked as synced. As you can see, the LED started blinking, which means that it's running the new firmware. Now it will also update the state in the cloud to be synced, and there you can see it is marked as synced. So now you've seen the entire chain from bootloader, application, firmware delivery, as well as building the firmware. And thank you for watching.